Hello, welcome back to Pet Talks with Buddha. I'm sure you would have definitely enjoyed our previous episode with some candid conversations with Buddha himself. Now, as we promised, we will be taking this case by case or point by point, speaking to different clients who worked with Buddha and also enumerating a few points which are global, which happens with every pet lover, pet owner. So, for today's episode, I'm more than happy to invite one of our esteemed guests, Miss Corrina, who's here with us in the studios, and we'll be listening to her and trying to understand the entire journey of her being a pet owner. Over to you, Corrina.
Hi, John. Thanks for having me. Thanks for the coffee. I'm happy to share my story with my dog.
Great.
Yeah, so I got my dog. It's a German Shepherd. When he was a puppy, I always wanted to have a German Shepherd. I was thinking about having long walks and just having a companion in my life. So I was really committed to, and I still am, of course, to having a dog. And he was the sweetest puppy. Everybody loved him. I regularly met my neighbors. I live in an apartment building, so we have a nice area downstairs where we can all meet and chat and walk our dogs. I took him to boarding, so he was fine with other dogs. I saw him playing with other dogs, so it was really a beautiful time. The first year, definitely, it was a beautiful time. And then after 1 year crossed or a bit more, I cannot recall it exactly because it was actually a gradual thing that then happened, is that he started to become aggressive towards other dogs.
Oh, okay.
And my dog's name is Tabasco, and we were quite known in the area. And in the beginning, when people saw us, they would be like, "Oh, it's Tabasco." And it turned to, "Oh, it's Tabasco." And people running away from us and hiding. And myself, hiding behind bushes, hiding behind cars when I would see someone approaching with a dog. He's not an issue with people, with humans. He's perfectly fine. I can stand and have conversations. He'd be fine. It was when another dog came in the scene. And it was really sometimes only like some dogs, and then it escalated more and more. And even if he'd see them from far, probably triggered by myself being nervous. So whenever there was a dog coming, I was like, "Ooh, a dog." So I think I also contributed to the problem. And it escalated over the years. So this is really gradual. You accept, you find creative solutions. It ended with me getting up extra early to walk my dog before everybody else goes out. And then having just a very quick afternoon walk with a lot of hiding included. And then walking him very late at night to be able to have a long walk with him. I did that around midnight, 11 p.m. midnight.
Okay. So you altered your lifestyle.
Yes. Really was happy to cut my sleep just to have a peaceful walk with my dog. And I somehow accepted the problem. I was working with a trainer and he said, you have to use treats and then distract him and be more, give him a high value treat and get the focus on yourself and the treat. But when a dog came on the scene, my dog was not interested in any treat. It could have been the most interesting high value treat. If there's another dog, he'd just go crazy. And I could barely hold him. I was developing problems with my arms. Then I got a harness. So I became really creative in fixing the problem. And I was thinking, okay, I should try another trainer maybe, but I don't know. That's how we are, right? So then one day I had the experience that I was out in the evening and my neighbor saw me coming and he was with his dog and he literally turned and ran inside with his dog. So I was like, oh my God, he's running away from me. I don't want to be that threat to my neighbors. And I thought, okay, I need help. So I went back inside and I directly went online, Googled and researched dog trainers for German Shepherds in Dubai. And Buddha was recommended. And that's how I got in touch with Buddha and then had my first session and learned that I know nothing about my dog. So that's how it started.
All right, Buddha. So now that we know the initial bit of the story, I am more than excited to know what was your reaction when this case came to you.
If you want me to describe her journey, I can say it was from tears of desperation and frustration to tears of joy, because I've
Perfect.
seen both. So the thing was, when I went to her house, first thing which I liked the most was the fact that she was very determined to work on her dog.
Okay.
No way she wants to give up on the dog, and for that she had designed and maybe her indigenous way to handle the scenario by by basically getting out of the house like a thief, watching out. If she had her kind of way, she would have sent somebody, an escort, to kind of check if the coast is clear before I bring my dog out. The dog was on double harness, muscle, leash, I don't know, whatever she could get, she would put on dog. And yeah, she was suffering. She was struggling. She was really working hard, but yeah, it was basically painful to watch. And she insisted that her problem was walking the dog. Dog is not walking on the leash properly. So, which apparently was not the case. And you remember what I said on my first visit to your house?
Well, first of all, you said that my dog is very rude to me.
Oh my God.
That he owns my place. He owns me. And, well, I did not see it like that. And I was also sure that this is not the case in the beginning. Yeah, that's how I am. And then you said, let's do an assessment of the walk then. Put your dog on the harness, whatever you do, and just leave the apartment. I did all that. It's never a problem putting the harness on my dog, but then exiting the apartment.
Oh, yes.
So my neighbor just left at the same time. He was lunging at the neighbor, friendly, but he was.
Okay.
And then we went to the elevator. I pushed the button, and that moment he said, actually, I've seen enough. You can go back inside.
Okay.
I'll explain you what's going wrong.
So what was your assessment for that?
So thing was, see, this is where people address this problem very wrong. They want like small issues to be sorted.
Okay.
Okay. The assessment, when I entered the house, rang the bell. The moment the door opened, I realized she had no control over the dog. Dog came running to me, jumped on me, greeted me.
Okay.
It was all friendly interaction. I came and sat. I'm assessing him. She was telling her part of the story. Dog was here and there. I think once it jumped on the couch, she told him to get down. He did not. He listened after 3-4 times or something. Or she had to raise her voice or something.
Okay.
Then, of course, when the leash came in, dog came and put the leash on. And then he was the first to go out.
Okay.
When the door opened, he first went out. And the entire way, dog was walking her.
Oh, it was the other way around.
Yeah. So the thing was, there is no concept called walking the dog. That's a very misleading, even the phrase to use as a phrase, because the concept is you are going for a walk, your dog is supposed to follow you.
Okay, that's information.
Now, see, if your dog is, for example, in that scenario, every choice during my presence there, dog was making it.
Okay.
Right? In that scenario, if dog starts making the choice, and when he sees another dog, that's the only point when the dog wants to listen to it, that won't happen. That's her expectation.
Okay.
So her problem was first inside the house. Okay?
Okay.
See, as I always say, these animals don't belong in our lifestyle. These are hardcore work-line dogs. German Shepherds are the dog which helped humans in Second World War.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So when you bring these hardcore work-line dogs to our house, we need to guide them on a lot of parameters. Okay? They need a job, no matter what. They don't have to go to war or something, but in your house, they need a job. Okay, this is what I'm expecting. What I'm expected to do.
True.
So it's not corrections that they want. It's basically a direction. That is called taming. Okay? Now, if your dog does not listen to you inside the house, he will never listen to you outside the house. Don't even have that expectations.
Okay.
If you follow the dog during the walk, dog is leading full leash ahead, you basically are using the leash so that dog does not run away. If that is the way the dog is walking, then don't expect the dog to listen in certain kind of distraction. Now, when I entered the house, she did not find any problem is because every interaction was positive according to a human. Dog was friendly, they was fine.
Correct.
I was a person who was not scared of dogs, so I walked in, I handled the scenario. But the problem, what she missed out over there is, dog was making all those choices.
It was dog's decision which the owner was following.
Yeah.
Okay.
For example, dog, even if before I could say hi to you, her dog was on me. Right? Imagine if a person I'm scared of dogs, I'll be running.
Yeah.
Tabby will be chasing me around. And in that scenario, what will happen is, I will consider him as a most dangerous monster. And to make it worse, what will be her reaction? She'll be screaming and chasing Tabasco.
Yeah.
In Tabasco's head, I am chasing this human. My owner is also following me to chase
the human. Okay.
That will make it more worse.
Okay.
To break this scenario to you, how their brain works is scan, sense, lock, respond.
Scan, sense, lock, respond. Okay.
So and most of the time we end up reacting to that response, enforcing that response.
Okay. That's
we have to work on scanning. A dog is walking with me as part of my team.
Yes.
And when that shift happens in their mindset, they will not be distracted by anything. For them, it is not XYZ. What is my job? My job is to follow humans. I'm happy doing that.
So scanning means distraction.
Scanning means dog is following his genetic instincts. Dog is on his instincts. See, they are creatures of instinct, smell, sound, movement. That's exactly why we had the dogs in our world initially.
True.
If you go to history, dog's job was to protect, to herd. These are all their genetic traits.
Okay.
And that trait still remains. We need to guide them. When I do training, I specify a role. What is your dog's role in your house? If you want a family dog, you need to teach him not to respond to his instincts but follow humans.
Correct.
Otherwise, there is no bad behavior from a dog. Dog is just behaving as a natural dog, a wild dog.
Natural instinct.
Yeah. So, a dog is being wild, dog is happy being part of a team. You have to decide which side you want the dog to be. So when she started working, my initial effort was to build that relationship where Tabasco understand there is a human there. I cannot scan, I cannot sense, I cannot lock and respond. I need to follow humans.
Okay.
There are 110 techniques to kind of approach it, whether that is treat, whether that is different leashes and all that. That's separate. That depends upon you and your dog. Number one, what is your comfort level? What is your basically ability level to handle it? Second is what is your dog? Where are we starting with the dog? Right? If the dog which was reactive like her dog, I will not be asking her to give treats to the dog. You're ending up enforcing that behavior over a course of period.
Correct.
Okay, so first it's a concept where I helped her understand that the way she's looking at it is different. She thought her dog needed help. This dog is suffering. But unfortunately, her dog was ruling her.
Okay, so what was your direction? As in, what was your, I would say, step 1, step 2, step 3? How did you approach it?
Step 1 approach was to basically tell her that without any distraction, start giving directions to your dog. If you go and set a dog in place, she had done a lot of work with training and stuff, so she knew the basic stuff. Only the concept wise, she was using it as like as it's called training, that is circus training. I just gave the concept of a taming, but she needs to understand this is what the dog is supposed to do. Dog is to understand, this is what I'm supposed to do. So that's a relationship which you need to fix. So my direction was for her to start at very basic level, without any distractions, guide the dog what the dog is supposed to do.
Okay. Was it easy to do this? As in, I know it's very easy for me to listen to this, but as a dog owner, was it easy? The step 1.
It was not.
Okay.
And that's because of my character. That's how I am. So I first had to learn that thing about give your dog a job. Because for me, I thought I have to take my dog on very long walks and make him tired. So my goal was always to get that 1 hour walk before I go to work. And then the other thing in the house, I would play with him and make him more hyper. But from Buddha, I learned, no, you have to really connect with your dog and guide your dog. Which meant for me then already leaving the house, I started the walk in the house, and I made sure that he's with me. And then leaving the house, also this I had to train because I have to go first. And you cannot rush in this training.
Yeah, it's takes
So
time.
that 1 hour, I needed that to practice stepping outside the house with my dog. And then repeat, no, go back inside. And you have to have that patience.
Oh, of course.
And since I learned, okay, when your dog's working with his brain, that also makes him tired. So it was okay for me to have then a shorter walk, but then focus on the steps. So he has to connect with me, listen to my command, then we go outside. Same with the elevator, same exiting the elevator, and so forth. And always the dog has to walk behind me.
Yeah.
Then there is areas where I'm very strict with this. And then there's areas where I know there's no distraction, no one there, then I let him a bit loose, because then we were there's desert parts when I walk in there. So I can also relax on my walk. Cool. But I learned and understood that the walk itself, he has to follow me and has to be behind me or by my side. And that you need to practice. Because of course, after more than 4 years, him being the ruler, why would he accept then?
Suddenly
you cannot
change.
discuss it with your dog. So you have to make it a habit for him.
I would like to highlight 2 points in this. Number one, the play which she mentioned. So the play, what used to happen was when she's in the house, Tabasco will bring a toy and give it to her. And according to her, that's the time I need to spend time with the dog. I need to play with the dog.
Okay.
What she failed to understand was that's where the Tabasco was training her. See, play for a dog to help you kind of understand it more deeply is that, have you seen 2 puppies playing with each other?
Yeah.
It's always a game of dominance.
Yeah,
one tries to pin the other one.
correct.
We think, they're having fun.
Yeah.
No. Yes, of course they're having fun, but also they are basically learning a very important lesson in their life. Where do they fit in the hierarchy?
Yeah, to be the alpha.
Yes, as alpha is a little bit of a detailed topic. Just kind of where do they fit in the hierarchy?
Okay.
Who's on top and who's basically who leads and who follows.
True.
Right? So when a human starts following the animal, what happens is as the animal grows up, crosses that 2-year mark, it reaches to a level where he actually starts dominating. So he will have stuff and he said, back off now. Okay, I have scenarios where dogs have get the toy to play, and if the owner doesn't play, he nips at the owner. Like, why is he biting me? Because that is their natural behavior, and you fed it from the puppy stage.
Okay.
And the second aspect of, just want to kind of basically give it a different direction. A dog has to walk behind you is basically a natural state of mind. If a dog is connected and following you, it will naturally walk behind you. With leash, without leash, retractables, harness, collars, doesn't matter. We don't train an animal physically. We train their mind. Physically, every animal is far advanced than us.
Yes.
We don't work on them physically. We train out their mind that, okay, fine, your job is to follow us. Right? Now, one more thing I would like to add to people who aspire to get pets and stuff and all that. Please have a look at your lifestyle. If you don't have an active lifestyle, or if you don't have the time and energy to put into your dog, don't get these work-line breeds into your house.
Okay.
Because they need that.
They need time.
At least a little bit of time, morning and evening walk, a little bit of activity. The more, the better. You cannot physically tire an animal. They are far advanced than us. Okay. It's that how much that time and effort for them to be guided into that process is what is needed. And again, rephrasing what I said, there is no concept called walking the dog. The concept is you are going for a walk, dog is supposed to follow you. If you are riding a horse, you guide the horse through the reins. You don't basically let the horse take you where the horse wants to go.
I feel like saying my life was a lie because right from the beginning.
See, John, the problem is not. See, the thing is, unfortunately, so much of social media content which influences us is made basically made for that people will watch it.
True that.
So they make
Yeah.
it look so good. Even a lot of trainers want to show the beauty of it. This is nothing new. This is a traditional approach which has been working for ages. This is concept where dog did not come to our life within a couple of years. They were partners from our civilization started.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So there is a way, basic stuff which has to be maintained. And unfortunately, now they are being portrayed as toys and stuff and all that. Dogs technically are not social animals. That's again, people on what? Yes, dogs are pack animals. They are not social animals. We will discuss in detail about this topic later. So this is how we need to handle this.
Great. So step one, as she said, that, it was not very easy, but yes, she could get to the first step. So how did you analyze the change or, the gradual success rate of this thing?
So the initial challenge was, there was a time of denial. It took some time from her side to understand that this is what is the problem. And when she saw that, initially it was a shock to an extent that she doubted herself. Do I have it in me to kind of do work on this? So but hats off to her, she overcame that and she's still kind of working on it.
Wow.
Now there's some things which is peculiar to her dog. I don't know how it kind of reached that level. I see a very strong sense of prey drive in that dog.
Wow. Okay.
It gets really, really kind of fixated with small things running around. Normally that happens from dogs which got, some dogs are trained to hunt and all that. So some of those traits have been trained into that dog.
So do you think it is trained or is it genetics again?
See, okay, I'll explain. See, we cannot take the credit of teaching anything to the dogs.
Really?
Nature has programmed everything into them.
Okay.
We enhance the behavior which we want, phase off behaviors which we don't want.
Okay.
Dogs, of course, are natural predators. Their genetic is of a predator. But if you feed into it, you make it a machine to hunt. You basically tune its kind of its senses to kind of work on that direction. See, what is a hunting dog? What is a guard dog? What is a work-line dog? Pulling dogs? All these, herding dogs, all these, the genetic traits have been trained to accommodate our need.
Right. Great. So what in this case, as you said that, you did see a change, it did not come easy, as Corrina rightly mentioned. But was this change enough to kind of certify the dog that, now the dog is happy and, with the master kind of a thing?
It's a work in progress. And again, it's all the effort and the relationship. I call it 3 P's: patience, patterns, and persistence.
Okay.
So it's about repeated actions. There might be hits and misses and all that. Of course, she's starting from a dog which is old.
Yeah.
That also has its challenges.
Yes.
Okay. So, but again, one beauty of animals is that when you put it through it, they are happy. Okay. My job is this. I'll follow it.
Great.
Again, success is not like he walks with me properly without any distractions, no matter what the environment is. But my success is replicating that with her. Now, I started with Tabasco fresh. The moment I interacted with him, I told him, I'm not here to abuse you and stuff and all that, but things happen on my terms, not on your terms. So that relationship kicked on very fast, and Tabasco was happy following me because, okay, I'm relaxed. I don't need to do anything. I just have to follow this human. I'm happy. But with her, the dog is starting from negative. Okay, no, she does not do things the way I want.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to take over. Okay, when he takes over, she doubts. Okay, I lost it. There's no loss. Continue doing it.
Okay.
Keep on at it. The more you tell the dog that this is the journey, this is the way I do it, they will follow.
Great. So how long did this whole journey of taming Tabasco took?
It's actually difficult to say. We're now almost 2 years in the training, which for me, I see it like this. Lifelong, I have to train that dog, and it's on me to train him with what I learned from Buddha. And I had one moment in the beginning where I tried to implement all the advices, and we still had situations where I lost my dog or he was reacting. And then Buddha said to me, your dog does not feel safe with you. And that hurt me to hear that. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So I learned then, or realized by implementing those strict rules and regulations, that what a word with the dog, but I have my regulations with him now, and I cannot make exceptions. If I make exceptions, he gets confused. For example, getting in and out of the car.
Okay.
He used to just bolt into my car. Okay. And it was very difficult to teach him, no, you're not allowed to do that anymore. So now he patiently sits and he has to make eye contact with me, and then he's allowed to jump in the car. So sometimes this can take a while. If he's stubborn, I will not let him in or out. But I feel that these rules give him security. Like, I feel more connected to him. So these rules that I establish, how we leave the house, how we enter the house, how we enter the car, how we exit the car, that it connects us.
Wow.
Yeah? He likes
now
that.
I'm more interested to know, how are your neighbors now?
They're relaxed.
Really?
I've not seen anyone running lately. So
wow. Okay,
no,
that's a positive.
Yeah. No, also I have to admit it's work in progress. I'm not taking challenges. So
Okay.
I'm still very sensitive about my environment. I still muzzle him when I'm inside the building, or that also gives me a sense of security.
Correct.
So I feel safe, my neighbors feel safe. Also, some think, because the dog looks more dangerous, muzzled, right? But for me, this is just for me to be relaxed, because that was the first thing I had to learn. Don't be anxious all the time. Be relaxed when you walk your dog. You're in control, you can do it.
Right.
So this is what I had to learn, and that takes time.
Yeah, of course.
And I have good days, I have bad days. I'm a woman. Sometimes I'm not in a good mood. So then it's more challenging. But of course, it was never for 1 second an option to give up on my dog.
Yeah. Wow.
I would have accepted my old lifestyle. But I'm glad and grateful that I learned how to do it, and that I can do it. And also I have to accept that it's not an easy task, right?
Yeah.
So,
but I would rather put it this way, that it is simple, but it's not easy. It's just that as Buddha rightly said, humans are wired in a different way, animals are not. So just to get a balance between them, to tell them that okay, now this is me, and you start following me. I am the boss here. So that's a behavioral change that needs the dog
thing.
needs to get.
And I agree with you saying that's simple. It's very simple, very minimal, simple rules.
Yeah,
and
true.
It's not like with children. You can have a negotiation, discuss. Okay, we make an exception today. You cannot make an exception with your dog. He's gonna get confused.
True.
Yeah? So it's actually very simple. But it's so hard for humans to follow simple rules.
True. So Buddha, what would you term the entire journey as? How would you see Tabasco now versus how he came to you?
Honestly, see, from the starting, I did not find much problem with Tabasco. Because Tabasco was not a dog which was maybe what we called a dog which is out of control, So there are certain animals which starts challenging humans and owners and all that. No, Tabasco only thing is he needed direction. So the whole challenge was for me to make the humans understand that this is what is required and this is what you're dealing with. He's not a cute little dog which you see, you want to hug, cuddle and take him for a walk and all that. He's a good personality, good character, very good traits in terms of guarding and all that.
Okay.
Maybe, who knows, he was bred, the gene pool is the same. We don't know about his history, right? So now, as a way forward, my kind of suggestions to her is that don't do anything which you are not sure of. If you are not confident, you don't need to do it. No need to feel bad about it. You do what you want to do. Your dog follows you. That's the whole way ahead for her. It's plain and simple. Stop analyzing your dog. Stop feeling bad for your dog. No, your dog is supposed to follow you. You are a good person. Your intention is not to abuse him or something. What your dog needs is more than love and affection and all that, hugs and kisses. Of course, yes, that's what you want to give the dog. Please give it. But he also needs a sense of direction, somebody to follow.
So I'm sure you almost deal with more than 100 pets and pet owners in a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure you would have encountered cases like this before. Now that you are on your show, what is it that you want to say to the viewers who may be approaching this situation or who may be already in this situation and they need solutions from you? So if you can guide them 2-3 steps which can help
Number
them.
one, if you are a new pup owner, what we need to understand is leash is for humans. We need leash. Dog does not need the leash.
Okay.
So from a very young age, they have to be initiated how to walk, what the leash means, what is the expectation of the leash, and what the dog is expected to do when the leash is on.
Okay.
Nose is their most powerful sense organ. They are born with their nose open. Okay. So when the moment they start growing in a human world, they will start following their sense of smell. And human will start following that. That is your first sign of trouble, which initially looks very cute.
Okay.
Okay, so when you take for a dog for a walk, dog goes and smells to left, you go to the left. Dog goes and smells to the right, you go to the right. So you basically start following the dog.
So that has to stop.
That has to stop.
Okay.
Initially, initiate the dog into the leash. Go stand in one place. Let the dog settle down with you. See, there is so much of distraction outside world has kind of offered to the dog. Dog does not understand a bike as a bike. He thinks it is a monster coming to kill. And in some scenarios, he's lunged and barked it. The monster ran away. And in that process, you might be pulling and shouting at the dog. The dog, the human also got agitated and chased that animal away.
Yeah.
So all this scenario, it's your responsibility to guide the dog, follow me. If you let the dog follow its instincts, then don't complain on what the dog does.
Okay.
It's in a world which it doesn't understand. Right? It's the whole effort of guiding him in that process.
Great. So I'm sure our viewers would definitely take advantage out of this. And I can kind of guarantee that, Corrina, your case is not an isolated case. A lot of people would have definitely been going through it. And I hope this little discussion...
Yeah, seriously, this is one of the most common problems now dog owners have.
Okay.
Yes, a lot of people don't put the time and effort what Corrina does. Some dogs don't reach that stage.
Okay.
She basically did some training before. She took some effort before from trainers. Maybe they could not communicate to her the problem or they could not figure out what the problem was. But it is not her fault. It's not her fault. But the amount of determination she showed was impressive. Because dog was, when I started interacting with the dog and seeing the relationship between her and the dog, this was bad. I really felt bad for both of them. Because the way I look at it, it's a relationship. It's not the dog, it's not the human.
Absolutely.
That relationship is really suffering.
But I think kudos to her that, they've come, she and Tabasco has come a long way in this whole journey. And I'm happy that the neighbors are peaceful now. Right, okay. Okay, so that definitely was a very insightful discussion. Once again, thank you so much to Corrina for coming, sharing their story, and Buddha obviously describing the entire journey. I'm sure most of the pet owners, dog owners would relate to this incident, I would say, or this case, and can learn a lot about how to handle this. So, as I always say, stay tuned. This is Pet Talk with Buddha. We'll be here with another guest, with another story, with another case next week. Till then, have a beautiful relationship with your pet. Stay tuned.